So as we all know, gender equality is an integral part of the 2030 Development Agenda. It's both a sustainable development goal and a vital component of achieving progress toward all the SDGs. Gender responsive evaluations are important tools to promote accountability on gender equality, human rights, and women's empowerment. They provide information on the ways in which development programs affect women and men differently and contribute to the achievement of these commitments. As we know, this information is often lacking, and its absence hinders progress. We know this, and yet strong data on gender and the differential impacts of development on men and women, girls and boys, remains understudied and underdocumented. The evaluations we are recognizing today tackle this challenge. They're examples of what we could achieve and what we can learn if there's a willingness to try and the dedication and commitment to do. I'm so very pleased to announce the Gender Responsive Evaluation Award winners. They are, first, the final evaluation of the project to prevent the feminization of extremist groups' modus operandi by UNDP Chad. Congratulations. So this is what the reviewing team said about the evaluation. This evaluation puts gender issues at the forefront. The evaluation scope, criteria, methodology, and questions all contributed to ensuring the collection of data related to gender equality and empowerment of women. The presentation of recommendations is excellent, distinguishing between strategic and operational recommendations and showing explicitly for each of them their correspondence with findings and conclusions. Congratulations. The other recipient of the award this year is the evaluation of the project entitled Digital Inclusive Accessible, Support to the Digitalization of State Services in Ukraine from UNDP Ukraine. Congratulations. And this is what the reviewer said there. The scope and analysis of this evaluation integrated issues of gender equality and empowerment of women well. Evaluation criteria and questions were designed in a way that ensured gender-related data would be collected. The evaluation findings, conclusions, and recommendations all reflected gender analysis. We should not forget that the evaluation was conducted during the ongoing war in Ukraine, and despite that, the report was delivered 1 whole month before the estimated deadline, and with an actual expenditure well below the estimated budget. So that's quite amazing. So my heartfelt congratulations to the worthy winners. I'd like to open the floor to the representatives of the winning teams to say a few words. I'll turn the floor to Mr. Yako Sільє.
Thank you very much, colleagues, and thank you very much, Akim, colleagues from the Independent Evaluation Office, and also all our peers and colleagues from the country offices and from regional centers and headquarters. Let me first of all start by thanking the Academy. No, that's a little bit of a, I haven't received the prize lately, so I'll maybe start in a more serious note. Let me maybe just say that it's really my privilege to accept this Gender Responsive Evaluation Award on behalf of the whole country team in Ukraine. The advancement of gender equality has always been one of the most important areas and priorities for our country office, and that's really very much appreciated for getting the acceptance and for accepting this award and for what we have achieved. We are convinced really that gender equality is crucial to enhancing inclusive economic growth and the promotion of sustainable development. So a little bit of a background of the project. In 2021, Ukraine took an ambitious goal to actually look at the digital divide in the country so that all men and women have equal access to electronic services. And the project was also very innovative because it really looked at digitization, which is also an enabler under our strategic plan, but also focused on the role of gender equality and how to enhance that through a dedicated digital, inclusive and accessible focus on digitization of public services in Ukraine. The idea behind the project was actually very simple. It had to look at new digital solutions based on the principles of not only human rights, but also gender equality for all users. And whether it was women or men, disabilities, vulnerable groups, we really looked at how all people who are left behind and not included in the process can be included. So the first phase of the project lasted for 3 years. It ended in 2023, after which we did our final evaluation and the project. So let me maybe also just capture 3 takeaways from what we learned from this project. The first is really that a gender and inclusive lens must be applied from the project design. And as was mentioned, even under very difficult circumstances in Ukraine in the breakout of the war in February 2022, we continue to revise and look at the projects in new and innovative ways. And we continually looked at how to achieve the gender responsive and a sustainable approach throughout this evaluation. The second is really that the project monitoring and results framework must be periodically changed and also reviewed. So to ensure also gender results, or sometimes the lack thereof, are captured in the project monitoring results. And lastly, we also did a specific effort in terms of capturing in the TORs how clear gender equality principles should be reflected in the evaluation results. Maybe just shortly, just a great achievement that we're very proud of is that the government partners, and this is the Ministry of Digital Transformation, which plays a very important role in the government of Ukraine, actually included dedicated measures of women participation now in their online activities. And in all their efforts, they've taken on board some of the results of this evaluation. So we are really very much honored by this result. Thank you very much for including us. It's really inspirational under difficult circumstances for me and my colleagues here in Ukraine to continue to build an inclusive society, but it's really a priority for us, and it's great to see that it has been recognized. Thank you to everybody in the evaluation office, and thank you, Akam, for also participating in this event for us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Jaco. I think one of the things that strikes me in hearing you speak is how thinking about gender is infused throughout the whole project, in not just the project itself, but of course how you measure and how you make sure you're on track. And I think that's an important lesson for us all, that this is something that is doable, but that it requires dedicated attention in every single aspect of the project. And thank you for that reminder, and congratulations again.